Joel, there is still a lot we don't know about how this hostage release came to be. President Trump is saying it's a step taken in good faith towards the United States. How significant is it if the U.S. made this deal unilaterally with Hamas?
Yeah, Anna, of course, first and foremost, getting Idan out is a victory for him, for his family. It's a wonderful moment to see a humanitarian success. There still are 58 more hostages, both deceased and alive, that need to come out, and that needs to be top priority. This negotiation, it's a fascinating dynamic that we're watching right now, but unfortunately, there's no clarity about how this fits into ending this war, getting the hostages out, and getting relief into Gaza. It seems almost like a one-off. Hamas may be doing what others are doing in the region, of providing some type of positive a gift or action to try to take advantage of the fact that President Trump is going to be in the region. So I don't really know if this is going to lead to any further negotiations. And also, without Israel in the room as part of this, it doesn't feel like a sustainable program that we're witnessing. So it's a wonderful moment, but a lot of open questions about how sustainable this is going to actually be.
The president choosing Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates for his first diplomatic trip rather than visiting close allies. What message is he sending by going this direction?
Well, he's sending a message that he wants transactions and deals with the Persian Gulf states, and that's his priority.
And we are now getting confirmation from Hamas that the handover has taken place, and Hamas putting out a statement saying it comes as part of the efforts being made by mediators to achieve a ceasefire, open the crossings, and allow aid and relief to reach our people in the Gaza Strip. What does that tell you, Joel, about how Hamas, just the state of Hamas at this moment, and how Hamas is looking at its prospects in this ongoing battle with Israel?
You know, a couple of things to think through here. One is they are leaning in publicly to the idea that they want a ceasefire. That creates a window for diplomacy. It means that when President Trump goes out to the region, while he may want this to be a business discussion, he's going to get an earful about how there needs to be a real day after plan for the long-term peace in that region. And one of the key things I know we've talked about this, is that getting Israel to become a normalized country across the region means having an agreement with Saudi Arabia. That's been part of the whole plan. And it looks like President Trump's talking about maybe not bringing Israel in. We don't know. But Saudi is always demanding a two-state solution as part of that. This kind of Arab role in normalizing Israel into the Middle East is crucial. That needs to continue to remain top of mind. Pushing Hamas towards that and allowing them to getting them to allow the Palestinian people in Gaza to breathe must be part of that as well. So we do need robust diplomacy to resolve all these issues. It is a good sign to see a hostage release, but we're going to need to see real engagement by this administration to really resolve the issues and not just take one-offs or individual photo ops, which I fear sometimes is the case.
To this point, you're laughing, so expand on that.
I apologize for laughing. And by the way, happy Mother's Day, Alex.
Thank you.
And I really enjoy being with you. I'm laughing because I guess it should just be, what does Vladimir want today? That should be the American policy. We have a policy. It's about a ceasefire. Putin says he doesn't want that. Instead, he wants direct talks now without pausing. And apparently that's now our new policy. It's really American weakness personified. I do give President Trump credit for pushing publicly that there should be a ceasefire, and I do think that he's gotten Putin's attention. But we can't be chasing the Russians like this. We need to set up some clear parameters. We need to work with our allies. This goes to the bigger fundamental picture, which is that we're not negotiating from a position of strength or organizing negotiations at all from a position where we have allies alongside us and really put the pressure on Vladimir Putin to come to the table. And so we're doing what we see, which is sort of flipping in the breeze depending upon what Vladimir Putin wants today versus yesterday.
So then you have Ukraine insisting on the temporary, a full ceasefire before any negotiations start. Look, both sides accuse the other of breaking every limited ceasefire that there has been in existence. Neither side trusts the other. What are the odds, Joel, that we see face-to-face talks May 15th?
You know, I guess we could say 50-50. You're right. Look, there's no trust. There's no love lost. These warring parties have been going at it for 3 years. too much loss of life, a tremendous impact on Europe, hundreds of thousands dead. They need to get the talks. They need to get a ceasefire as part of that. And Vladimir Putin needs to understand that he cannot get conquest as part of a gift for this kind of policy that he has towards Ukraine. I think those parameters need to be clear, and we need to stick to our policy and push Vladimir Putin, quite frankly, to stop his aggression into Ukraine so there can be legitimate talks on the way forward.
Okay, we're going to watch this very carefully. Let's move to what happens Tuesday, which is, as he did in his first term, Trump heads to the Middle East for the first major foreign trip of his second term, with a stop at a summit in Saudi Arabia. Then he goes to Qatar and then the United Arab Emirates. The White House said the goal is to secure economic agreements that includes the prospect of a $1 trillion amount of investments and a $100 billion arms package with the Saudis. But, Joel, this is happening after Israel approved new plans to seize and occupy Gaza. What does it tell you, with trade and economic investments being Trump's first order of business and not diplomacy?
Yeah, Alex, this goes back to what we were just discussing on Russia-Ukraine. It's sort of flailing in the breeze kind of policy. It seems like President Trump's just walked away from the Gaza issue when it comes to diplomacy and stopping that war and getting the Israeli and the American hostages out and bringing some kind of future towards Gaza that the Palestinian people believe in and that promotes Israeli security. And now there are big concerns that he may be cutting a deal with Saudi Arabia towards providing a civilian nuclear program or something of that variation without getting normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia, which is a longstanding American strategic priority. And to walk away from that would be a major loss for the United States in bringing calm to the region. It, of course, would also show how unpopular and damaging this war between Israel and Hamas is for Israel's standing in the region. So a lot going on. He has a chance to bring people together, and instead he's not. He's just sort of going into the region and cutting deals for the United States rather than being a broader peacemaker.
Hey, Joel, can I ask you quickly what you make of NBC News confirming that there's going to be a palace in the sky for Donald Trump? He's getting a luxury jumbo jet from the royal family of Qatar to be used as the new Air Force One. Apparently, it's an estimated $400 million. It could be the most valuable gift ever extended to the U.S. from a foreign government. Give me your sense of concerns, or is this A-okay with you?
Yeah, Alex, I'm really glad you brought it up. It's a fascinating story. Look, you just said the key thing here, which is that it's a gift to the American people. It's not a gift to Donald Trump. And what concerns me is the idea that this would somehow go to a Trump entity after 2028. No, this is a gift to the President of the United States, and the President of the United States is an office that belongs to the American people. So great. Take the airplane, refurbish it, pay using taxpayer dollars for the flight attendants and the security, and then we get to keep it for the next president, too. It should not be going to anything associated with Donald Trump on a personal level after this term is up. Which
is what you've pointed out. It is supposed to go to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation after this, right before the end of his term. Well, we'll see if others think it's a problem, too. Thank you very much in the meantime. Joel Rubin, good to see you.